course, you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
The obligation to mock it.
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
Piers Morgan is essentially a Trump suck. He loves the Republican Party. And above all else, okay, he loves content. But when you call Obama or Biden or AOC a communist, even though they don't describe themselves as that, that's not calling for their... That's harsh, intense political commentary. Enough talking about Ben Shapiro. I was... yeah, I know. I was meaning you. I was meaning you. Yeah, I know, Hengist. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Okay, let's get into it. Now, I've been set a timestamp for this. I played a little bit of a clip earlier from the Piers Morgan Uncensored video from when Destiny joins. Let's go and take a look.
Social media since Charlie Kirk's death, when Erika Kirk posted Charlie's...
Okay, let's go to the start of the question. All right.
Opinions. Right. Well, there's a kind of farcical to quit a debate where we're literally debating about the importance of free speech and being able to listen.
Wait, am I racist? I want to call him Frederick Douglass. His name isn't Frederick Douglass, is it? Fuck! What is his name, bro? Shit! He occupies the same space in my mind as Frederick Douglass. Alright, maybe he just, like, looks like Frederick Douglass. He dresses like he's from the 1800s, dude. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Let's go back. Why did he leave?
People views are... Listen.
This looks like a man, okay, who learnt to read by oil lamp. I haven't even... I'm just saying. Just to be double clear.
I'm not going to be blamed for what everyone in that company has to say. Anyone in that company has to say.
The
I'm
head
an
of that
individual.
company?
We are supposed to judge people based on individuals. He did not go around calling Charlie Kirk a fascist and a Nazi.
Saying that you don't have good reasoning skills. If it's the case,
Cornel West. Thank you. Thank you.
That you think, oh my God,
you
can't be calling people
so
Nazis. You can't be calling people Nazis while your boss does all the time.
Why are you making that up? You're just making it up. You're just making it up. We're all the same. That's how simple-minded you are. You're all the same. It's not simple-minded to point out the truth.
Oh my God. Oh my. You can see the veins in Anna's neck going crazy right now. Oh my God. The screeching doesn't work.
It's just like Dylan Roof.
All right. All right.
Anna has always had this problem, and I don't know if it's like, in one sense, it's probably like fueled by misogyny in like a large part, like getting the feeling that like women are screeching, and like dismissing them on that basis. But it just, when men start to shout and men start to get forceful, it's like boo. There's like a certain like bass to their voice. When women start to shout and scream, it starts to like the pitch goes too high, and it's just uncomfortable to listen to. I feel like rhetorically, Anna's always been the same, but rhetorically, it's just bring it down a little bit. Just like low, assertive. I feel like that's the tone, but yeah. Maybe that's reinforcing misogyny. I don't know. I need Babka in here to explain to me. I need to get Babka in here to explain me how to talk about this. The fact that women should stop screeching when they talk to people and be feminists at the same time.
All right, let me bring in Cornel West. I want to bring in Cornel West. I want to bring in Cornel. He's been waiting.
Shut up,
please, let Cornel come in now. He's been waiting very patiently. Cornel, welcome back to Uncensored, where things are getting incendiary quite quickly. I think the overriding point I would make about the debate we've just been hearing between Andrew and Anna is that there is little doubt to me that the constant rhetoric on the left, the woke left, let me be specific to where I think a lot of the blame lies, ever since Donald Trump came into power in 2016, has been this relentless use of the phrases about Trump and about Trump supporters. And the problem with constantly saying this as a group, as the woke left have done for 9 years now, is that eventually it permeates down to young, impressionable minds who genuinely believe that it is their mission to stop America from being taken over by the new. And that leads to the kind of thing we saw with Charlie Kirk. Do you agree that this language, this relentless, in my view, woeful misuse, particularly of the word towards Trump and his supporters. This is part of the problem.
Well, I think part of the deeper problem, though, Brother Pierce, is that the organized greed and weaponized hatred and routinized indifference toward the vulnerable has come together in such a way that it has eroded the sources of character formation, so that integrity, honesty, decency, and self-critical sensibilities of individuals and groups is more and more disappearing. So you end up with because hatred itself is promiscuous, just like greed, just like indifference toward the suffering of others. It's promiscuous. It will lie with the left, right, center. It lies with Christians. It lies with Muslims. It lies with Jews. It lies with Buddhists. It lies with Hindus. And human beings were so wretched in the first place. If we don't undergo some kind of spiritual and moral cultivation, we end up falling back on greed and hatred and indifference. And I mean, the American empire at this moment is one in which the lethal combination of the hatred and the greed and the indifference.
Listen, Cornel West, I like reading his writing, all right? He's all right, he's okay, but oh my God, does he yap? And Jesus Christ, is he not good in like these dialogues? You can say it's profound. The question was, do you think that terms like is responsible for turning up the heat?
Generates very much the exchange that we just saw. You see, this brother right here says, well, all leftists want to see me dead. Well, I'm a leftist. I don't want to see you dead. I'm a Christian.
You called Trump's administration a neo movement, you lunatic. People have gone out
You're
of
absolutely
your way.
right.
You have gone out of your way.
Let me make the
to
case.
Do everything
Let me
possible
make
to
the
cultivate
case.
this.
Let me make the case.
Oh, yeah,
Will you allow me to speak,
case.
brother? Come on, man. Come on. No. You haven't made the case. If you think I've made the case, then you're not interested in dialogue.
You just said this brother over here said this.
You're very, very different than Brother Charlie, man. You're very different than Charlie, though, man. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I can make the case for that,
people
too.
like you that got that man killed, sir.
No.
Is Cornel West wearing the tie over his... Oh, no. He's got like a little band. What's going on here? What's going on with this fit? I thought that he was wearing his tie like over his collar, but he's got like a little thing.
No. There are such a thing as neo. But Piers, why you have a brother on who's not gonna allow nobody to speak, man? We just wasting time. If all you're interested in is making your money, and you bring this brother on it, and nobody can say a word, and we can't even mourn Brother Charlie passing. I had dialogues with Brother Charlie. This brother's going to say, oh, this kumbaya and so forth. No, Charlie was made in the image of a loving and mighty God. I believe that. I say my prayers for Sister Erika and the kids, because this brother wants to trash my Christian sensibility, and look at him laughing now. It's a joke, man. Pierce, it's not worth it. The dialogue is not worth it.
Part of the neo
movement? Not with this brother.
Is he part of your neo
with this brother?
Yeah.
When Charlie himself says that he is against Civil Rights Act, does that make him a proponent of Jim Crow? When he calls Martin Luther King Jr. an awful human being and a scumbag? I'm critical of that. I am critical of that. You're absolutely right, Brother Wilson. You're absolutely right. But if all you're going to do is be arrogant, you're arrogant just like the so-called leftists you're talking about. But Pierce, you making your money, brother. Go on and make your money, man.
It's all about making.
Not worth it.
Cornel,
this brother
it's all
right
about
here
making
is
money.
part of the problem. This other brother who has a deep connection to Charlie, he's willing to at least listen. But this brother's not willing to listen.
Cornel, can you sit down? I would like you to remain part of the debate.
This is.
To be fair, it is really. I do sympathize with Cornel West. It is intensely that essentially what. You wouldn't be able to criticize somebody and label them as a neo if you did think that they were a neo because it would be calling for their death. Listen, it might be okay, you might criticize somebody, but when you call Obama or Biden or AOC a communist, even though they don't describe themselves as that, That's not calling for their... That's harsh, intense, political commentary. That's how it is. The fact that so many people are talking about Trump and calling him a neo talks more about the Trump administration and how divisive politics is right now, rather than leftists calling for his death. That's
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. He's smoking his cigarettes with his arrogant self. Come on, man. We don't have enough dialogue at all.
Surely you're not going to walk out in a debate about dialogue.
Go on and make your money, man.
Right. Well, there's a kind of farcical to quit a debate where we're literally debating about the importance of free speech and being able to listen to each other's opinions, which seems to me completely insane. Anyway, we've lost Cornel West for now. Maybe we'll get him back. Well, Andrew Wilson referred to Destiny's insane tweets a little earlier, which were disavowed by Anna Kasparian. Well, Destiny joins us now. Destiny,
yo, it's the man of the hour. Let's go, little Steve.
You've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erika Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags at half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X, buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every Conservative debate call out I'd do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better...
Yeah, I will say, you might think the Destiny's jokes are like funny or whatever the f***, or like edgy or whatever. If Destiny still clearly, since he's going on the Piers Morgan show and is affiliating with like Unfuck America, wants to be a political player. He doesn't want to just commentate on it. He wants to push the dialogue. He wants to change it up. But he's been so unhinged lately. I don't know if he's like had a huge like double dose to his Vyvanse or what the but yeah. Anna's eye roll. I mean, I feel so... Any leftist who goes now on a panel show with Destiny, or has any association with Destiny, I feel really bad for them, because he's f***ing up for everyone else. He's saying that he won't... The left shouldn't, like, do a call for normalcy. Shouldn't do a call for lowering the temperature on political debate after a guy's just died until the righties do it first. It's unhinged.
Better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
white
dude.
Described.
He wasn't
Destiny.
trans. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys were wrong on all of that.
To be clear, the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry. Excuse me. When?
Yesterday. He said
he doesn't know.
No. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college? Not
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know.
What you just said
I do know
true.
the very reasonable sounding governor of Utah has made it clear that the
you
may not want to hear
this.
This
is an ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it, Destiny. But the reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just ask you.
That's just not true.
Let me just ask
you.
There's
no way to deal with it.
Okay,
you're living in a
accusing the governor
fantasy.
of lying.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But
sure.
If it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology.
The worst thing is, I haven't even watched any of Destiny's coverage of the trans girlfriend stuff or the comments so far. The reports so far have been mixed in terms of their credibility, and it does make me question stuff until we see like verifiable evidence, I guess. So, for example, the Daily Mail getting in contact with one of his friends to confirm what username he used online, being able to corroborate like different parts of it, to be able to see that what was it? That Lanzotti or whatever that Reddit account, like that was actually the roommate. Were they in a relationship? There doesn't seem to be anything concrete to establish that, but they did seem to be some flavor of transgender. The roommate that they had, yeah.
Who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk? Would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So
wait, hold on.
Charlie Kirk, would you to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk? Would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So
Jesus Christ. I mean, to be fair, I mean, from day one, this has been Destiny's take, and he's criticized Democratic politicians for condemning the violence. It's like completely unhinged. Completely unhinged. I was about to say somebody in the Democratic Party needs to put Destiny out to pasture, but that sounds like I'm calling for violence, which I'm not. Fucking hell, man. This is the doxing shit all over again. I've got to be careful about what language I use. Somebody in the Democrat Party has just got to put out something that say, we completely disavow Stephen Bernal. Like, there's no other way. We disavow the comments that he's made. He's not part of our movement. He's not part of our party. That just has to be the standard now. Because Destiny's like dragging them down so hard, he may as well be working for the Republicans.
You won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why would you expect anybody, Destiny?
You can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why can't Trump go on TV and say, all of us should be less violent?
Why do you think
Trump say that?
Why do you think
your behavior contingent on Donald Trump?
Insane right now.
Why do you think?
No,
let me ask a question.
On Donald Trump.
Let me ask a question.
Because he's the president of the United States of America and the leader of the
Destiny. Let me
You have a huge audience of young men who listen to everything you have to say. So when it doesn't matter. You have a huge audience, and because of the fact that you have a huge audience, you have a responsibility to not turn. No, it hasn't. It hasn't been broken. I actually care about the country and want to bring people together. You do the opposite. You represent the worst of us, Destiny. You're embarrassing.
You should tell Donald.
All right, let me ask Destiny a question.
Watch how easy this is.
No, hang on. Don't all shout at once, please.
If Donald Trump would have come out and say, hey, we should all be less violent, I have no problem saying
I have one question for you, Destiny.
Why can't conservatives do that?
He sounds unhinged right now. Oh my god. Do you remember when this guy was like rhetorically effective? Do you remember when this guy cared about like optics and how things like looked to like normie people? Oh my god, that was not too long ago. It's like a year ago. Oh my god. His mind has just been destroyed, I guess. His mind has just been destroyed. Oh, man. Literally, he's got no chill. He has literally got no chill anymore. Like, he's got issues in his personal life, and he is currently, it seems like, taking that out every time that he goes live and talks about politics. It's destroying him. It's destroying his reputation. And worse, I mean, fair play, I don't really care about that, but it's also destroying the left. It's destroying the optics of the left. Because you don't need to go all the way to Blue Sky for some 2-follower account to say, look, leftists aren't disavowing the violence. You can point to one of the largest streamers in left politics to be able to prove that point.
Why can't conservatives do that?
Destiny, I have a question for you. Why do you think in your campaign for everyone to dial down the temperature, why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side, why do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United States is not
inflame the temperature.
able
You're
to
mocking his widow. You're mocking his widow.
We've had multiple political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean it's turning up the temperature?
Why did you mock his widow?
Online because
Why did you mock his widow?
Because she's being used as a political weapon right now for conservatives to continue their fight. What do you mean, wow? She's literally doing
her husband just got murdered
on email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
and
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You won't condemn it.
Can't even tell his side.
You're
to
so
turn the
deranged
down.
about Trump that you cannot
unhinged.
condemn the murder because you're waiting for Donald Trump to say something.
Off of it.
All right, let me bring in Jack. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec. I gotta say,
there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
which question?
Why can't Donald Trump?
Oh my god, it's so disturbing as well. Because like, dude, you've literally got one of his like associates. You've literally got one of the people who knew him in real life listening to this entire conversation, just like furrowing his brow, like, what the are you talking about? Looking like disgusted the entire time.
Say
money off of it.
All right, let me bring in Jack. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec. I gotta say,
there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down,
Fine.
like Biden could, like Obama could,
Fine.
like the Clintons could, like Kamala could? Why not?
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
It's unbelievable. I'm not the president of the
Why
United States.
can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should be
Yes,
the
it
one
was.
that is driving up
It
the
actually
rhetoric.
was your side that caused it. It was your side.
This guy was raised in a white Christian
He was a
household,
radicalized
in a Christian
leftist
state.
ideology.
He wasn't radicalized by leftism at all. You have no proof of that whatsoever.
That's what
Just
the
like
investigators
the one that
are
killed Melissa
saying.
was a conservative, just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were conservative, just like the Proud Boys were conservative. Every single one of these people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec. What, the author of Unhuman? Another person that Charlie supported? Good one, dude.
Well, I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder.
What was that? What was that final quip? I feel like I lost the tether there.
Every single one of these people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec. What, the author of Unhuman? Another person that Charlie supported? Good one, dude.
Well, I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie.
Good one. I mean, yeah, that is Jack Posobiec. Yo, thank you. Let it go for the 196 New Zealand dollars. Thank you.
You are acting like an unhuman.
Why can't I hear Donald Trump condemn violence in this
all
country?
right, you won't
Why can't
condemn
I hear
it. Okay, we've
I
all
can't hear it.
heard.
That's insane
We've
to
all
me.
heard you repeatedly refuse to
And
condemn
we've
it.
heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn
Jack
it too. But for some
Posobiec.
reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow.
Why is Piers pretending that Destiny's statements are more important than the US president? I mean, it's just like a whataboutism, right? That's the problem. That's the problem. Destiny is refusing to deny, is refusing and has refused to, disavow the assassination of Charlie Kirk, just to do rage baiting. And then everything that Destiny's done over the last, ever since Charlie Kirk has died, is just rage baiting over the issue, right? Rage baiting that he won't disavow it, rage baiting that he said that he won't ask his side to turn the temperature down, and then saying, but Trump doesn't, I'm not doing it until Trump does. You can do it, and then stand there and say, I'm better than the US president. Easy peasy. There we go. But the idea that your behavior, or your disavowals, or what you will publicly say, you don't agree with, and don't align with, and what you disavow, is contingent on somebody else's actions. It's insane. I understand the point about the United States president. I don't like Trump. I'm not a Trumpster. But everybody else on the left has been able to do this without looking to Trump first to see if he's going to do it first. What?
I find that sickening. Jack Posobiec.
I find it sickening that when people are getting killed in the country, the president of the United States on Fox and Friends, when they're begging him, what do you say to your followers that want revenge? He says, I don't know, all the elections are rigged. It's the radical Democrats. That's insane to me. And then the fixation is, well, who on Twitter and YouTube isn't condemning the violence?
All right, Jack
Piers,
Posobiec.
you have a great example here of the type of cancer I'm talking about, where when you present direct information, they refuse, they obfuscate, they refute, they say it's not true, they lie. You could see from the bullet casings, you could see from postings, you could see from everything out there that it's very clear what happened here. This is the same people who supported President Trump almost getting assassinated twice last year, Cory Carpentore being assassinated
by
last
conservatives
year in a situation. Again, see, just
yeah, the assassination was by a conservative, but everyone forgets that. It's really annoying, but yeah.
Lies, that's all they do. They talk over, they don't even let you give a chance to speak. And something needs to be done, Piers. Something absolutely needs to be done. This ideology.
Is Destiny winning? Destiny could win, right? Destiny could win. He's got a point. He's got a cogent point, okay, that he could make. It would be beneficial. He's going about it in the worst way possible, though, and he's doing more harm to his own position than he is doing any benefit or planting any idea in anyone's head. So no, Destiny is not winning. He's probably got a plug in right now, turned all the way up to 10, shock mode on, boom, boom, boom. I don't know what the he's doing. He's such a dude. If this is the trajectory of Destiny's career right now, yeah, he looks insane. He looks completely unhinged, and he's doing no benefit for anyone.
He should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse. I mean, you've got people who have completely dissociated with humanity because all they care about are clicks and YouTube streams and likes. Go to the casket, go to the gravesite, go talk to the widow. You know, I don't even know how to discuss this with someone who's completely lost all touch with reality.
Yeah, I mean,
he sees it as too easy. Has to give himself a challenge instead of these people won't. How about challenging himself to not sound like an unhinged freak who is actually happy about the death of Charlie Kirk? That would be seemingly a pretty interesting challenge for him to take on, do you think?
And
what's Jack's answer to why can't the president say we should all be less violent?
Right. Because you can't even condemn the cold-blooded execution of Charlie
Donald Trump
Kirk.
turns on Destiny.
I don't think you're in the position to
says,
demand anything from anybody
on YouTube. That's how I'm going to take my.
You're
my
not in any position
really?
to condemn anybody for anything. You won't condemn a cold-blooded murder.
He's the president of the United States. He's the president of the United States. No one here can answer that question.
Basic humanity says the murder was horrific. Why can't you say it?
To be less violent.
Why can't you say it, Destiny?
For over a decade.
To say the murder was horrific.
I expect him to call for the death of more people. Destiny's unhinged. I mean, I'll try and have a look for the clip. I think Destiny did say, before realizing that it was really optically disastrous, and then like saying, oh, I don't care. I'm just gonna play video games. He said that he wants conservatives to be afraid for their lives. Dude, it's so. What is he doing, man? At this point, every argument that he's ever made about lefties, about socialists, about Hassan types being disastrous to the Democratic Party, it all flips back on him 10 times harder. He thinks that he's being good for the Democrats right now. He thinks he's being effective for the Democrats right now. Unhinged.
Horrific and unacceptable.
Why can't Donald Trump say it?
You can't do it,
Why does no one hear any words for Donald Trump?
Yo, Hengist with the clip. Thank you. Thank you. Here we are. This is what I'm talking about.
Ash out the crime statistics?
Not exactly like
you need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't give a God, it's gonna be so gay if I get killed in the next 2 months of shit I'm doing. Well, the cuck shit out here. Please don't anybody make any actual, the most cucked, weak-ass, bullshit-ass speeches on my side. God, if it happens, holy shit, I'm going to make a death note before I go out to go live and not... God, it's so cucked. It's so optics cucked.
Yeah. Anyway.
Ash out the crime statistics?
You'd imagine if there was ever a time to actually care about the optics, it's probably when somebody in your field has been killed. But no, there we are. There we are. Yeah. If there's ever a time to be optics cucked, is when you actually care, seemingly, apparently, about the the political narratives currently going on, about the public conversation. If you want to change the public conversation, ultimately, that is going to be a war of optics. In part. You've got persuasive argumentation, and then also how you look. Right now, he seems like a guy who maybe is happy that Charlie Kirk was. It's like, it's insane. It's insane. Oh. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Destiny took the piss out of somebody who died at the Trump rally during the assassination attempt on Trump. Lol. He didn't take the piss out of him. He said that he thought he was, like, deserved. Oh my god. Wait. Okay, to be extra clear, he didn't say that it was deserved. He just said that, what? He wouldn't cry about it? He didn't feel sympathy for the guy? Yeah, whatever line you want to spin through it.
Trump.
All right, Anna Kasparian.
Donald Trump. Nothing exactly.
Anna Kasparian. This, to me, this is what I'm talking about, that I think there is an element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick, as I've just seen from Destiny.
The sick thing is weaponizing a widow's grief to try to do recruitment for your political party. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. She's showing up in emails for recruitment drives for TPUSA.
Destiny? What did you think the assassination of a political figure would do? What did you think the outcome was going to be? What did you think the outcome was? And by the way,
are you asking me for the pragmatic political outcome, or are you asking me for?
Hey, how about take it easy on the Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me answer the question that Piers asked me.
You must have been really bullied today, I guess.
My behavior...
Let Anna speak, please.
Anna, let's go! Anna, let's go! Dude, this is probably the best way to deal with Destiny right now. It just points out the reason why he is so unhinged. Because it's not because of the facts. It's not because of the statements. It's not because of the actual, like, political issues at hand. It's 100% because of his personal life. Everybody with eyes can see it. It's so obvious.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior. I agree with you in that it would be very helpful to have the leader of this country want to turn the temperature down. And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and out to death. How can you mock that? What is wrong with you? I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't know.
Oh my God, she phrases it so clearly. Oh my God. Oh my God. I do actually respect orators who are able to do that. Just kind of like touch on the exact feeling that you have at this moment and be able to explain super clearly and be able to put it into like the perfect words. Yes, exactly. How can you respond to that?
I understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart, and at the same time,
it's such a simple thing. If you're going to weaponize somebody's grief against the other party, well, then of course people have a right to fight back against it. I think that she has every right to grieve in whatever way she wants, but when that grief is going to be weaponized to do recruitment, political recruitment, and further radicalization of the other side, then of course you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
The obligation to mock it, okay, dude. Oh my God! As soon as he starts going on a correct point, I agree with that. I do think the weaponization of Charlie Kirk's death has been like kind of gross, and I've said that in my commentary. So that's a point that he's hitting on that I think I agree with, and maybe is important to hit on in the public sphere. And then he goes on and says you have an obligation to mock it. No, you don't. You shit.
Let me understand your argument. So since others are using her grief to politically recruit, you think that it's okay to mock her specifically?
Since others are using her grief, she's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she talked about good versus evil. She's the one showing up in TPUSA ads to 1 or 2 days after.
If someone assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech. I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things that she said. Okay, you need to understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually lose someone that you love, that you chose to spend your life with, that you chose to raise children with, a person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that. This is why I've moved away
and when
from
something
identifying as
you got bullied online. It's so funny. It's so funny that you just said that you don't think about how other people act to defend.
No, what's going on? What's going on with Susie Woohoo?
It's so funny that you just...
No! The Grinch got her, dude! The Grinch got her! No, Anna!
So embarrassing
you don't
on the
think
left.
about how other...
Dude, my internet is bad. I would not go into Piers Morgan with like stuttering camera. Oh, Anna.
People act to define your behavior. Your entire political ideology now is somehow defined by the people that were mean to you on Twitter.
No, it's not.
He keeps on trying to hammer this again and again and again to try and get a win on Anna Kasparian, because arguably she has had a big political shift, and arguably it is led by people on the other side, or people on her side. And then she's like leaving the left. There's a little bit of a taste of that, but it just doesn't work into this. It doesn't work in this conversation right now. It hits none of the points. It is a complete pivot. It doesn't. It's not even. It's not response to anything.
Somebody who's grieving.
I understood
you tell that
what
person,
the flaws
you
on
tell
the.
Bonganet, don't even start. California net, all right? What position did she cry? What position does she change? Attitudes towards crime.
To you on Twitter.
And also, I think some Palestinian positions, yeah.
No,
if somebody
it's
cares
not.
about somebody who's
No,
grieving,
I understood
you tell that
what
person,
the flaws
you
on
tell
the
that
left
person,
happen to
hey,
be. The
maybe you
weakness
should
in their
step back
arguments.
for a couple of
No,
weeks.
no, it's
Maybe you
not
should
about
take
the
some
way I
time to
get
grieve.
treated.
You don't
I
say,
get treated
hey, let's
like
throw
crap
a
from
camera in
both
front
sides
of
of
you
the
and have
political
you do
aisle.
mass recruitment for our political party while everyone over here is calling for civil war. It's unhinged. When you've got people like Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire, the
we're
president
talking
of the
to a
United States
guy
calling
who
for
said
civil
he'd be
war.
okay with his own parents getting killed if they went to that Trump rally where that assassination
Yeah,
attempt
and we're talking
happened.
to a
There's
woman
no
who went
reasoning
on and
with
did
you,
the whole
Destiny.
conservative media
There's
outlet
no,
with
there's
Tucker
no
Carlson
reasoning
and
with
Glenn
you.
Beck and had
Okay.
nothing bad to say whatsoever. I know where your bread is buttered. I know where
And
you're
it was
making your money
great. I
from.
had
Okay, that's
awesome
great.
conversations.
And
I don't regret it at
I know,
all.
that's great.
I also had a conversation.
Why is Destiny still on there? Because Piers Morgan is essentially a Trump suck. He loves the Republican Party. And above all else, okay, he loves content. What is this? What is Destiny freaking out against Anna Kasparian doing right now? Generating Kino content. Kino content. This is better for him than when Rabbi Shmuley and Mohammed Hijab went on. And Mohammed Hijab just started talking about kosher dildos, okay? This is A+ S tier content.
Conversation with Jack Posobiec on her take. It was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Jack,
what
the guy
democracy is about. Having an exchange of ideas.
Comes out of his
Yeah.
mouth.
All right, let me bring in.
Right.
Let me
I
bring
don't
in.
agree with him on everything, but at
Still
least we
to
can
this
have
day.
dialogue.
Anna, you're completely right, by the way. Anna is completely right.
Didn't it?
And the irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led the way in going in to debate with people who hated him, and he would try and have respectful
Charlie
dialogue.
Kirk beat up on college students.
Unlike
That's all
you,
he
Destiny.
did. Let's be
Let me
real.
bring
Unlike
Andrew
me,
Wilson
I'm
in.
So do you.
Let me bring in Andrew Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You're going on a college tour.
Charlie
You're going on a
Kirk is
college
trying to
tour
hold
right
higher
now.
level debate.
No, he does. He's done the exact same kind of content. No. Now, obviously, there's a nuance here. There's a nuance here that, well, Destiny started an online political debate. Destiny's like bread and butter content is arguing with like big figures on the right? Like some substantive like arguments. But Destiny got his start arguing on Discord, and now Destiny is like segueing his way in to doing these like big college tour events because they are giga content and they look really, really good in terms of doing like traditional political organizing and I guess narratives. But you can't have that narrative. You can't have that nuance in a heated discussion like this. I don't know why Destiny is pulling out this card. He can't do this, man.
Beat up on college students.
Dude, every time, after, Destiny's got no idea what the chain of dialogue is going to be immediately after he says something, right? I think this is usually the sign of somebody who's really, really good at anything. Really good at, like, I guess, chess, really good at Go, checkers, whatever, like, game theory, whatever the f***. It's also apparent in debates. If somebody can anticipate not just what's going to be a good response to what's being said right now, but also what the other side is going to say, how they could counter that up, going through the right, like, trails of dialogue, that is a really good sign of what you can do, right? A really good, like, way to be able to think through things. Destiny used to be able to do that, okay? He can't anymore. His brain is absolutely broken. And as you say, Raska, he's like tripping on rakes every step of the way.
What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing right this second, is going on a college tour to go beat up on college students. By the way, can I just ask you a question?
I don't
yes
exclusively beat up on college.
Can you actually answer? Can you actually answer? Hang on, calm down. I just got one question. I got one question for you, and I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is...
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in this country has been crazy. But the reality is, until conservatives...
So then why did you say to your co-host that Trump deserved the bullet? Why did you tell him that?
Until conservatives have to say, hey, we all need to be less violent, there's no purpose in Democrats doing it, because every time Democrats disavow, you further entrench your guys' delusional beliefs that all the violence is coming on the left. Donald Trump can go on TV. He can say, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. They can go on Parler and say, we heard you. They can go to the Capitol and break in and try to insurrect. They can get convicted in front of a jury, and then Donald Trump can pardon them, and we can come out and go, hey, guys, why aren't Democrats disavowing violence? And pretend that the problem is coming from the left. Democrats do a disservice to this country by disavowing violence constantly when the president of the United States
Let me respond
won't go on
quickly.
TV and say all of us need to be less violent.
Destiny,
How easy
so
would that
the
be?
thing is, why did you say to your co-host
keep focusing on me.
that the bullet was for Trump? Why did you say to your co-host that the best place for the bullet was Trump? Why did you say that?
Why did Donald Trump call
It's a whataboutism. Whataboutism. I'm asking you a question.
Whataboutism.
I can't be whataboutism if it's my question, Destiny.
Why won't Donald Trump
answer the question?
All right, why don't we do
that?
this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this before I cut mics?
Because you don't care.
Destiny, allow Andrew to repeat his question and let him answer.
Pierce smells it. Pierce smells it right now. This is what is happening. That big nose, what's seeping in through there? Yeah, that's content. That's content.
Question, then you answer it, okay? Andrew.
No, I want to hear the other side first.
Let him ask the question.
Donald Trump.
Let him ask the question.
Destiny really doesn't want to be brought up. It's so obvious.
Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host, when asked point blank, if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it, okay? This guy's an obfuscation machine. And you know what else, Destiny? Why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your life and say the truth, that you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is. Isn't that really what's true?
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be happening. I don't know why it's so hard for the president to say the same. I think it'd be the easiest thing in the world as a president. Biden did it for 4 years. That's why everything was way cooler when he was here, like in terms of temperature. The Clintons have no problem saying it. Barack Obama has no problem saying it. Kamala Harris has come out and said it. Every Democratic lawmaker and leader has basically come out and said it. But for some reason on the Republican side, it's just civil war, civil war, civil war. And the Republican president of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring himself to say, all of us need to calm down. And so
okay, Destiny actually did give a good response there. Listen, I'm gonna call it as I say it, okay? That was a good response that Destiny gave there. Andrew overextended and said that he thought that he was happy with Charlie Kirk was dead. Realistically, Andrew should have hit on some more concrete facts about some of the things that Destiny has said to drive that point home. Because as it sounded, he just left the accusation out there. Now, maybe with the rest of the panel, it works, but piece by piece, not really. But maybe people can just disbelieve him. Maybe that's how it works with the audience. I'm not sure.
Trump deserved the bullet? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump
deserve the bullet
on his side ever? Did Donald Trump
answer the question? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro. It's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer.
It's YouTube video clips.
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
No. See, this makes it super clear with what Destiny's saying, because he does do this with these word games. He doesn't think that anyone deserves. Well, he doesn't want anyone to die. He doesn't want a country where people are killed for political disagreement. But he has said that people deserve it, or people had it coming.
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's disavowed violence. But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Did Donald Trump?
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. When did Donald Trump disavow? Wait. When did Donald Trump disavow violence in this country?
Your co-host, you lying sack of shit. If he wanted to kill Trump, the
no
worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing.
Violence, and
that's what you said,
and this is,
bro.
Yeah. And this is when you...
Wait, what was the quote?
Was the bullet missing?
Violence,
If he wanted
I'm the lying
to kill
sack of
Trump,
shit?
the
No
worst
way.
thing that
Oh,
could have
wait,
happened
Donald Trump
was the
disavowed
bullet
all
missing.
political violence. And
That's what you said,
and this is,
bro.
yeah. And this is where, when
You're
you're
the
putting
biggest lying sack of
YouTubers, when
shit,
you're putting
bro.
YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States, this is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country. And that's why it'll continue.
But
There'll be more
Destiny,
deaths.
but Destiny,
Maybe it'll be me at the next one. Who
Destiny,
knows? There'll be
Well,
more
I do
people
agree
who
you want
die,
it to
and
continue.
you guys are all
Destiny-
going to turn around and be like,
Holy shit. Destiny is... If only Destiny and Charlie Kirk could have had a conversation before he died. The dodging skills on this guy are insane.
I can't believe it.
Destiny-
What's going on? What's happening here?
Okay,
Yeah.
Destiny, if you care so much about political violence in America, why don't you lead the way yourself without
can't,
mentioning
because
anybody
one
else?
side-
Why don't
because
you?
one side-
Why don't you, Destiny, right now just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because we've been doing that for a decade. One side can't
You can't do
turn
it, can
down
you?
the temperature.
You can't
the other
do
side
it.
can't turn down the temperature. If Donald Trump can't, then the left shouldn't until he does.
Got it.
Republicans
Okay, you don't want to do
need
it.
accountability
Okay,
for
Jack-
their actions. They need some responsibility for the insanity.
He had
they
it coming,
caused.
Even though
didn't he?
you've taken on
He had
yourself.
it coming.
Let me bring in Jack Posobiec.
We absolutely,
All
Democrats
right,
will
that's
take
enough,
accountability, but
Destiny.
it's their
I'll bring
fault.
in Jack Posobiec.
Yeah,
Jack.
okay. Nice. Both sides it.
Jack,
Yeah.
what is your response to this?
I mean, Piers, this is exactly what I'm talking.
Dude, the optics are awful. What is he doing, man? What is he doing, dude? Oh, Destiny. Just going on an unhinged rant, possibly saying that he won't disavow the violence and then maybe intimating that maybe it was actually deserved or he had it coming at the very least. Anyway, morning friend of Charlie Kirk. What's your take on all of this? Dude, it's so awful. It's so awful. The only way that this could have been worse is if he had his widow on the panel, man.
Talking about, you know, this type of ideology where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erika, who's been standing strong for her
Dude, even if I feel Destiny's getting mogged, it's weird that they have it set up to... it's set up in turns for a 4v1. This is such a huge disadvantage. I mean, maybe, but it's just a good... It's like a point, right? It's an indefensible, like, toxic point that nobody else will disagree with. That's why it's a 4v1. You can't find anybody else to come on this panel to support what Destiny is saying. That is the reason it's 4v1. It's literally the entire United States versus Destiny and I guess DGG.
family, for her children, who's just... She will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able to...
Wait, that's a good point, actually. It is meant to be a 2v2, but Destiny is jackknifed his debate partner by being a complete unhinged freak. Anna is there to support him. Oh my god.
be with them again, have more children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them. It's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, catch."
Notice no one answered his question yet. Well, Anna did. Anna answered his question and said that she was very disappointed that Trump hadn't disavowed it yet. But it's a complete obfuscation from the point, right?
And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up.
shit! You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my god! You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting
Piers.
piece of shit. Holy.
What a
Here's-
pedantic
Are we-
point. What a
are we
It's not
even gonna do
pedantic.
this?
This guy's a
It's
professional
total
liar.
pedant-
pedantry.
Epic
It's total
and
pedantry.
base.
Total
This guy
really gonna
probably.
do
I
this?
would like to let
Jesus.
Jack. I would like to let Jack finish his point, please.
Yeah,
and
it's just a
and,
little rant
and they'll
here,
claim
yeah.
there's no leftist connection. They'll claim there's no there, and then go so far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could see the writing on the bullet casings. And so, you know, these are very common symbols associated. Whatever the point is, right? It should be very, very clear: are we connected with our humanity or are we not? And some people are willing to do that. Anna's been willing to do that. We've done shows together. They've been fine. They've been good. We've jousted. We've done the back and forth. Dustin and I in the past have had shows together where before he kind of took this turn, and you think there are people who can just be willing to stand up for humanity.
You know, Jack, it reminds me a bit of the journey I've gone on, very different circumstances, but the Israel-Hamas war. The reason I asked everybody on the pro-Palestinian side for months after the war started, do you condemn what Hamas did? Is I think it was very enlightening as to the humanity of the person by how they responded. If their immediate response was, of course I do, the mass murder of civilians on October the 7th was a horrendous atrocity, then we can move on to an intellectually honest debate. If they refuse to condemn what Hamas did, it's a completely different debate.
What has Hassan Nasrallah said? What has Hassan Nasrallah said? I'm not going to disavow the violence on my side until he starts to disavow the violence on his side.
Similarly, right now, I feel if you can't condemn a lot of what the IDF are doing, frankly, it's my opinion, in Gaza, then the same thing. If you're unequivocally like, it's all fine with 20,000 plus kids being killed, then I've got a problem with that too. But I do think you've got to try and maintain in all of these debates a modicum of humanity about people who are actually being killed. And what is terrifying about the mindset of a lot of people on the woke left I've seen since Charlie Kirk's death is the brazen glee that they're taking.
Oh my God, this is the worst thing as well. This is the worst thing. Obviously, I've got a political bias in this, all right? I've got a political bias in this, and also I have a bias on my perspective of how the narrative is going. I'll be very clear of this. I've already given my takes on all of the after the Charlie Kirk shooting. Destiny is giving people a lightning rod to be able to say, look, leftists do avow this. Leftists refuse to disavow the death of Charlie Kirk. Look, here's one right now, one of the most prominent figures in left-wing live streaming online. No! It's so awful. I mean, hopefully, at the very least, this serves to be like an example. So everybody else on the left can say, look at that guy. He's hinged. He's like going crazy. He's disgusting. We don't avow that. That's not part of us. And distance themselves from Destiny. And hopefully, through that, people can understand, wow, okay, so Democrats actually do find this kind of rhetoric disgusting. Because right now, there is no large figure who is saying that they refuse to condemn the shooting of Charlie Kirk, except for Destiny. So hopefully, he can be like a lightning rod for that issue. The left can disavow him, they can move on. Hopefully some right-wingers will be convinced, oh shit, okay, the left actually do care about this stuff. The left actually do take this seriously. Because right now, with the performance that Destiny's given, that is not the message that's coming through. Oh, proving the right-wing fears right? Yeah. You know that isn't going to happen. Dude. Disavowing and distancing themselves from Destiny. Here's Ilka trying to do that right now with the black pill left. With the far left. I think that it may well happen, okay? I think that it may well happen.
To his murder. And then when I see even Destiny, who's a very well-followed person on the internet, well-known, when Destiny, frankly, if you can't bring yourself just to say the murder was horrific and should never have happened, it's a very simple sentence. It's just basic humanity. It really makes me despair for where everything is going because it's indicative of the mindset of I can't give an inch to my political opponents, therefore I lose my humanity. How can that be right?
Because you can't give an inch to political opponents that won't recognize or acknowledge anything they've done is wrong. It's all it's done is gotten us here. This is where we're at because of that exact mindset. Will any of the conservatives here acknowledge the conservative that murdered Melissa Hortman and her husband and shot the other senator in Minnesota?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just
that it was
about
a
all
conservative
political
shooter.
violence.
That it was a conservative shooter.
I don't know the details on that particular case. If I did, and it turned out that it was the case, of course, I would say that such violence should be disavowed. Thing is, you can't hold your entire moral standard based on what you think Trump is doing or not doing. What does that have to do with you, Destiny? It has nothing to do with you. You can easily just say, you can lead by example and say, let's all tone down the violence.
You can't lead by example.
That's what
I'm
you
not
want,
the president
right?
of the United States. That's what Democrats have been doing.
Wait,
for
you
the
can't
last
lead by
decade.
example because you're not the president? That's
no,
the stupidest thing I've heard
if
today,
one side wants to fight and the other side doesn't, then you're going to fight. One side can't decide not to fight if the other side decides to.
That makes no sense. What does that have
What do
to
you
do
mean
with
it
you?
makes no
You
sense?
can-
If
you
some
can
guy comes up to
easily-
you to
you
fight,
can easily
and the
just
other
say it
side
now,
says, I don't
Destiny.
want to, you don't really have the choice there.
Lead
That's
by
how fighting
example,
works.
then. Lead by
You
example.
can't lead by
and show
example.
us.
That's called dying.
You can.
Actually,
Right
I
now.
thought.
Do it right
I
now.
actually
That's a party
thought.
of
Let me
self-defense.
jump in.
Because you're actually happy
Let me
about
jump
it,
in
Destiny.
here.
Just be honest, you're happy
I actually
about it.
felt that Anna hit the nail on the head here, which is she did not need to wait for Donald Trump to comment on this to make her own mind up about what had happened. That is intellectual honesty, right? Yes, it may have been somebody that she totally disagreed with on many issues. The simple, humane thing to do with any event like this is to ask yourself, how do I personally feel about it? Not what does Donald Trump think about it, or what does Joe Biden think about it, or what does Timbuktu think about it? It's what do I personally feel about this? It didn't take me very long, Destiny, to understand that I felt repulsed by the execution of somebody in cold blood with his wife and 2 young children there watching. It's a human reaction. I don't need to know what Donald Trump thinks about it at all. I don't understand why you need to wait for him before your own humanity
I don't need to wait
kicks
for
in.
anybody. No, you're not asking how we feel about it. You're asking what the public statements should be. And the public statements should be the President of the United States.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
you're
I'm
asking
not.
me for a public statement
I'm
right
asking,
now.
where is your humanity? You can't just say the murder was
Where is your humanity,
wrong.
Piers? You guys are playing into this exactly. I think you probably know it. I think Cornell was right about this. You know where your bread is buttered as well. You guys play into this. It's insane to me that the President of the United States can't say, hey, all of us need to be less violent. We all need to calm the down. That the President of the United States can't say this, but you will endlessly scour Twitter and YouTube for leftists to bring on and say, don't you guys disavow the violence? It's absolutely absurd to me.
You know, Cornel West should have stayed in his seat. We were debating free speech, actually, and whether
You're not debating free speech.
Well,
It's not
let
even
me
an
finish.
equivalent conversation,
Let me finish,
Piers.
and whether the
Insane.
overuse of words like was actually empowering deranged young minds to think they were battling actual new. And actually, when Andrew pointed out to Cornell that he had used the phrase neo about Trump, that's when Cornell decided he couldn't take part in the debate anymore, when he was reminded of something he had said. He didn't try and deny it. He just said, I don't want to have this debate, and left.
Piers, how long have you been in the United States, like following our politics?
Over 20 years, I've lived and worked in America.
Okay, if you've lived and worked in America, I grew up as a conservative listening to Rush Limbaugh and to Glenn Beck and to Billy Cunningham and to Sean Hannity. You're going to sit here and pretend like Democrats are the ones that started the name calling? I heard them call Obama and the Clinton socialists and communists.
When did I say that?
I heard them call... I'm just saying, why are we pretending that some people...
I'm saying, why did Cornel West...
household?
Why would Cornel West walk out on a debate when we're literally talking about the importance of speech? Makes no sense to me.
If speech is important, then the president should exercise it more cautiously.
So should you.
And Republicans have been... You can't stop
You've
a fight
got millions
on
of followers,
end.
and you think it's fine to show them
fight
you're
on
mocking
one
a
end.
widow.
You cannot choose for your opponent not to fight you.
Fine.
If Republicans
You mocked
won't
a
turn
grieving
down
widow.
the rhetoric... Then who cares? Donald Trump shouldn't
cares?
have used the rhetoric that led her to be killed. 2 days before she dies,
cares
that's
that
all
you
tweeting
mocked
out
a grieving
pictures.
widow?
This is all, it's just virtue signaling. You guys
is.
are making
Okay.
fun. You guys are excited
That was a
about it. You guys
misspeak,
love
but
it.
that's gonna
How is it
fucking
you said this
You
guy
love
can't
the
possibly be a
conflict.
leftist?
It's exciting to you. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
No.
How
this
is
isn't
it that you
exciting.
say this guy can't be a
This isn't
leftist
good.
because he grew up in a white Christian household when you grew up?
Oh, dude, Destiny should just I don't know. He said after Rose was confirmed to be 17 that he was just going to go and play video games for 4 months. He probably should have done that. That would have been great for his career. Realistically, the Rose stuff is one thing, right? Is that going to affect him? Maybe, maybe not. It's kind of hard to see, but it's an obvious line for attack. But I don't think in politics people are really going to cut people off for stuff like that, right? Maybe hope it never gets brought up. Maybe think they're a talented speaker, right? It's a little bit more complicated than that. That's not the whole story. But stuff like this will kill any political aspirations or any aspirations you have in political commentary. Again, people will still bring up that Destiny said that he did not have sympathy for the guy who was shot at the Trump rally. And that's such an easy line of attack, and it sounds obviously deranged to anybody, just a random firefighter getting shot next to his kid who was there to watch a Trump speech. It's so... Was the 60 gigabytes of CP ever confirmed or just speculation? It was speculation on the fact that Destiny was talking specifically about there being 60 gigabytes of CP. Turns out, was he ever sent 60 gigabytes? How much was he sent? That comes from a screenshot that Rose sent him about all of the films that she had made with her and other guys, right? That's where that comes from. So, has it been disproven? No. Was it ever confirmed? Confirmed to be from Rose. How much material did he have? Quite a lot. Was it quite 6 gigabytes? Who knows? That's the problem, right?
Grew up in a white Christian household by your own admission just now.
Forget the firefighter. He said he would have been fine if it was Ma. Yeah, he said it would have been fine. Dude, it's so. He said he wouldn't have felt bad if it was only his own parents at a Trump rally. His parents are Trump supporters, by the way. If his own parents at a Trump rally got shot, he wouldn't feel sympathy for them. It's just utterly bizarre. Destiny has got like an insane standard. And he always has insane standards. That's kind of partially what makes him so, like, entertaining as a spectator to watch him engage in these debates. It's the exact same reason that, whether you agree or disagree with him, right? Mr. Girl talking about, like, how we should treat or talk about in a little bit more of an open way and maybe, like, encourage them to get therapy and maybe not condemn in and of itself. It's the reason why that kind of content blows up so much. Because it's just somebody taking, like, an, kind of like, what would it be? An orthodox take. And then arguing and hashing that out. That is always going to be engaging. It's always going to be exciting. It's not always going to be respectful, right?
Oh, and you're a leftist, Destiny.
I'm 36 years old. This guy was 22, and he lived at home basically his entire life.
What does that have to do with anything?
I had 20 years to separate myself from my parents' ideology. I didn't live with them still. Jesus.
So 6 months, 1 year, 20 years? Why does it matter how long it took to separate? You just got to say it was a...
Google Charlie Kirk's birthday. Oh my god. Are we really doing this? They were born on the exact same day, what, 20 years apart? What day did George Floyd die? Oh, nowhere near. Never mind. All right.
It's impossible. And you yourself are a leftist who grew up in a Christian conservative household, dude. You're the worst hypocrite I've ever seen.
Hold on,
you're
I'm
the
sorry.
worst hypocrite.
You think that a 22-year-old has as much time to separate himself from the ideology that he grew up with as a 36-year-old?
Didn't say it.
You just made the comparison, dipshit. Of course you did. It's not.
Let me ask.
I made the comparison that a person can be radicalized. Look at you.
Point.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in.
Yeah.
Let me jump in. Let me ask Jack. Jack, you know the Kirk family well. You've been.
I mean, it's a particularly point of view. Like somebody's parents are like a huge influence on us, right? But like, that's not the whole environment. That's not the whole environment. He lived with them for a long time, sure, but as people are spending more and more time online, is that becoming a bigger environmental pressure on people's political views? Possibly, especially given the fact that people are going to probably have their political views largely, I think, solidified probably by their early 20s, right? That's usually when you're going to decide like exactly what side you stand on, right? Like core values. I don't know if people really move very much past that.
Around the Kirk family, I think, since this is appalling murder has happened. When you hear Destiny saying, "Who cares?" about the fact that he openly, publicly mocked Erika Kirk, a grieving widow.
Just mention his son. To be fair, Destiny would. Oh no! That would be a kill shot.
Within literally a day or two of her husband.
He not saying it's deserved, but he's not gonna go see for them. True.
Being murdered. How does that make you feel as a friend of the family?
It's very angry, Piers, you know. And here's the thing is she's seeing all of it. She's going to see all of it. Her kids are going to watch this video one day. It's just, that's sort of the nature of reality now. They will see all of this and they will see the reaction. And I just hope that those of us who knew Charlie, worked with Charlie, who knew Charlie beyond the, TikToks and short videos can also be there for those kids as they grow up to let them know who their dad was.
And
Our kids are going to grow up and watch old episodes of Piers Morgan uncensored. How performative is this? Is everybody here? Did we all get...
It's not the time! It's not the time, Stephen! It's not the time! Look at their faces, man. The contempt on everyone's face right now. It's not the time, Stephen.
Like a script before the show? What?
They watch a lot of old episodes of the
so embarrassing. You make the left look so bad, and you don't even realize it. You are seriously so embarrassing.
Okay, yeah.
God.
You can talk to your best friend.
You really
Glenn
are.
Beck about
I mean,
it
like,
later,
you
have
do you
another
feel
30-minute conversation about it, Anna.
Maybe I
talk more about
will.
how
Maybe
the
I will talk to
mean
Glenn
wokies
Beck about
on
it.
Twitter
Oh,
are bullying you about it.
is that naughty? Is it
How
naughty
many
to have
conversations have you had with
people
Nick?
across the aisle?
Well, you guys have in
You had more
common now, because
conversations
people
with
on
Nick
Twitter
than
are
anyone.
So mean. Oh no, not the meanies on Twitter.
Anna,
How many more
finish your point.
lawsuits are you going to face from women that you allegedly secretly recorded during intimate moments, Destiny? I can't believe anyone takes you seriously.
Are you really?
You're
You want to
disgusting.
pull out Twitter?
You're embarrassing, and you should be shunned
Yep.
from public life with your disgusting
My
treatment
God, I can't
of all
believe you
sorts
got
of people,
bullied so hard
including
on
young
Twitter. This is what you've
left-wing
become.
girls, women.
You're turning
that you
more
victimized.
right
Allegedly.
now in the window. You're
Yeah,
so
that's who
you're
you
like
are.
2 shades away from being
You're
a Fox News
embarrassing.
host, Anna.
You
Keep
embarrass
going.
the left.
You
You're the
gotta
type of
go get
person
some
who
lip
pushes
filler
people
there. You
away
gotta
from
do-
the
you're
left.
so close,
Make
Anna.
sure you understand that. You're
Yep.
embarrassing. There's no morality with you. There's no grounding
Absolutely
values.
not.
There's
Of
no
course
principles.
not, yeah.
All you want is
Rose,
attention,
Anna.
attention,
Go
attention,
for Rose.
attention. That's all you
Absolutely.
want.
Yeah, of course.
all
Well,
you
you and
want.
Cenk talking
Endless
about
attention.
9/11 with
Garbage.
another
If you
friendly
want
conversation with
attention.
another
Yeah.
mainstream conservative commentator about how you're such a leftist, but those people on Twitter are so mean.
Having a debate or dialogue doesn't automatically mean that you agree with everything they have to say. It means you're coming
No, it's
together
when you sit down and you
you're
agree with
exchanging
everything they have to
ideas
say.
and
Then you agree with
debating
everything they
them.
have to say.
No, I don't agree with everything they have to
You
say.
do.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, you do.
I
Of
don't
course
agree
you
with
do.
everything
What do
they
you
have
mean?
to say. But I'm
When
an
you
adult.
sit down and
I
all
can
of your
sit down and
criticisms
have a
are
mature
for the
debate
left,
or conversation.
and you have no disagreements about anything on the right, yeah, that's called
I do
agreement.
have
as usual
criticisms
we
for the
call it.
left. I have tons of criticisms for the right. Tons of criticisms. I'm obviously
they don't seem to come out
pro-choice,
much
for
when you're
instance.
talking to
I
your
obviously have a
conservative friends.
huge
Oh, the big
problem
guns, yeah.
with the unending, unmitigated support for Israel, regardless of the genocide they're engaging in. I have all sorts of disagreements with the right. That doesn't mean I'm going to dehumanize them and cheer on the slaughter of my fellow Americans because we have disagreements on politics. You're
I
embarrassing.
wish anybody here had the same energy for the president of the United States, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are focused on what really
my
counts on
fucking
Twitter.
God.
and
Dude,
YouTube,
you
because
have,
we're the
like-
conservative-
The leftist infighting, listen, usually leftist infighting on a panel is like the most boring part. It's obvious, it's always going to happen, and it's just the part you skip past. This is possibly the most, movement, the most, productive thing for the left to happen on this entire, okay? Oh my God, Anna needed to have done this earlier. Anna needed to have done this, 15 minutes ago. Dude, I'm glad she's doing it at the end, though.
But it's what should be
TDS,
focused
like,
on, you know?
you are like the prototype
TDS,
of TDS.
yeah, there it
It's
comes, yeah.
unbelievable.
The
You wake
TDS,
up every
yes.
morning and you decide your
Yes,
behavior is going to
true.
hinge on Trump.
Tell me
Well,
more about
who
the
are you as
dancing
an individual?
Israelis and Building
God, have
7
a little bit
and
of
how
humanity.
the Jews all knew about 9/11
You're a
and they all want
sociopath.
us to go to war
You're
in the
a
Middle East. Yeah, of course.
sociopath.
I'm
Let me
I've
bring
never
in-
once said the
Okay.
Jews
Let me
were
bring in
behind
Jack
9/11.
again.
Not
Let me-
once. Don't make things up, you disgusting.
Let me
That's
bring
okay,
in
don't
Jack
worry.
again. Let me bring in Jack again. Jack, Peter Navarro earlier was talking about directly to Elon Musk about, in his view, the urgent need for Elon Musk.
Dude, and as well, every hit that he tries to land on Anna, it just doesn't work at all. It doesn't work at all. He's bringing up, irrelevant stuff that, to everyone in the audience, except for maybe DGG, it is the most obvious imaginable. It is the most obvious pivot imaginable. Now, sure, she's going in for the hit. Maybe it's fair play. But Destiny is the one who is losing in this conversation. As soon as your own side is I think you. It's not the time to start digging in on what their opinions are on the dancing Israelis. Dude.
To detoxify X, given that he owns the platform, and that he blamed X for a lot of the toxicity in public discourse. What do you feel about that?
Well, I think there's obviously a tension between,
Oh my God. And then just the contrast, just the juxtaposition. Destiny, why won't you condemn the shooting of Charlie Kirk? Okay. Jack, what are your thoughts as a friend of Charlie after he's been deceased? Well, it's very sad. Obviously, his widow is going through a lot right now, and Destiny, what's your response to that? He sounds like a dude. He's like a goblin. He's like a goblin. He's a political violence goblin, dude.
Standing and wanting free dialogue and freedom of speech, but also maintaining a line beyond calling for violence and calling for direct violence or direct criminal activity. So, you know, X in its original Twitter fashion, if you go all the way back to 2012, 2010, when it was really getting going, they used to pretty much the main things that were banned or would get taken down or get accounts banned were posting of direct addresses of people, so doxing, or posting direct threats to violence. And so I think there needs to be that line set of this is acceptable discourse, this is a back and forth, but the idea that a direct call for violence should be banned, I think that's something that I would support.
Andrew, what do you feel about the social media aspect of all this? Do you think that it is culpable to a degree in the surging toxicity of debate about these things?
Look, social media is a tool. And what social media has done right now is it's allowed us to get a glimpse into leftist ideology, finally. Oh, yeah. And we get to see the insane madness that was always there. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, here on the panel right this second, you have a guy who celebrated a multitude of these types of things, including telling his co-host that basically Trump, the worst place that the assassin could have put the bullet was anywhere other than Trump. I mean, I got the clip of him doing it. And so the thing is like what we've noted now, these people are glad. They're glad. They're happy. They love it. I go on TikTok all the time and I debate with these people. It's very clear that leftists are glad that this happened and that they're going to do everything they can to promote more of it. And we're supposed to base our behavior on what the president does or doesn't say. What, like if I had Biden derangement syndrome, I couldn't still come out and condemn political violence? Of course I could. But the thing is
I'm just curious, anybody have any words for the fact that Charlie Kirk said that Biden should have been executed?
Leftists collectively can't seem to do that, though.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But why you bring it up now, like right at the very end? Destiny, no.
I don't know why they can't seem to do that.
No, that was fine when Charlie Kirk said that. Okay,
Anna, I want to mention something to you, which I was going to talk to Cornel West
Charlie
about.
Kirk was a moderate. He was more moderate than a local electrician.
Yeah, nice pivot.
He was more moderate than a local electrician, and you know that. By the way,
he said he wanted to see Biden.
You have debated with the worst, and I've seen you do it. You know,
Biden executed. Okay, give me a fucking break.
No, that's not what he said.
About any of this stuff.
That's not what he said. He said
that is what he said.
If you violate criminality and criminal laws,
performative outrage.
Then that will be the case.
All right, I want to ask Anna.
There's not what's performative. What's performative?
Oh, wait, so if I say, oh well, you know, I think that guy was a criminal, therefore the execution is okay. Somehow that makes everything fine with no investigation, no criminal charges.
You say all the time that your political.
I mean, he did, to be fair.
She gives these speeches, and it just has this aura of totalitarianism. My team says she's Indian and Caribbean. I'll tell you what, she would be a lot easier to beat than Joe Biden. A lot.
Dude, what? I didn't realize that this clip followed after him bringing up fucking Kamala Harris's race. Dude, okay, sorry. That's another conversation for the day. Go on, Mr. Kirk.
I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America. But Kamala Harris, my goodness, there's something that just kind of is tribal where people are like, I don't know if I want this crazy person running the country.
There's an argument there. There's an argument in there that Charlie Kirk has said that he wanted politicians executed before. 100%. There was an argument there. But you've got to find a place to thread it. And it's not at the very end to bring up out of nowhere and then build no off of it. Hey, man.
Opponent should be in jail and highest extent of the law. You say it all the time. What are you talking about?
Sorry, no, that's Donald
saying
Trump.
the word performative doesn't mean anything.
The National Guard right now.
I don't know what Andrew's going on at this point. I'm pretty sure that he's just gonna go on something completely opposite. Dude. okay, it's the end. Destiny has like lost enough ground. Andrew's gained enough ground. It doesn't really matter, but this is a really fucking bad point.
Investigations into every
that's just
political
performative.
opponent.
I want to bring Anna back in. I want to bring Anna back in.
Performative.
Okay, I want to bring Anna back in because the president.
Pretty weak point. I mean, that's why I say you've got to build something off of it if you want to build it up. There would be a way to thread it through. I'm confident of it. Personally, I can't think about it. I'm not that good of a rhetorician. But people are talking about calming down and saying that, you know, maybe in an argument about like, well, the left is always calling for like insane things. They're always calling people. They're always calling people. You can say, well, yeah. I mean, this has been a thing for a long side, though. You know, a long, long time. People have called for this. In fact, Charlie Kirk said that Joe Biden should be executed for his crimes against America. Right? It's been a problem on both sides for a long time. That would be a really good smackdown and a really good response. Obviously, because it's the person who was just assassinated. It hits harder, but yeah, I don't know. You can't just bring it up out of nowhere. It looks as though you're just trying to like besmirch the guy who was just killed.
Elect of the Oxford Union, probably the most premier debating society in the world. I've done it several times myself. George Aberonye reportedly posted he did post several comments in a WhatsApp group appearing to celebrate the murder of Charlie Kirk. One said, Charlie Kirk got shot. Let's go. Another one was, I think, LOL. This guy is going to be the president of the Oxford Union Debating Society, and yet he is celebrating the murder of somebody he literally debated himself in the Oxford Union in May. I found that terrifying. I mean, he shouldn't still be in the job, because how can you possibly be the head of a debating society when you think the way to debate with people is murder them if they don't agree with you? But again, the gleeful celebration. This is supposedly one of the brightest students in Britain. You know, president of the new Oxford Union Debating Society.
He can't be that bright if he's not considering what a political assassination could potentially lead to. Because where does this end? And that's like one of my biggest issues with a portion of the left. Their inability to see past the current moment, right? You're celebrating it, but what's the long-term goal here? Is the long-term goal to just have to descend to an environment of endless political assassinations and violence? And if we're going to have the left go up against the right in terms of violence, in terms of bloodshed, in terms of shootings, I don't know. I would just venture to say that the right is probably going to do a better job in, taking people out than the left is. This is just a really disgusting, sick ideology, and we need to move away from it. And again, I want to emphasize
well, arguably they do.
Personal behavior, the way you choose to behave and respond to things on a day-to-day basis has an impact. Okay, be the change you want to see in the world. So when you have a huge audience, and that audience of young people who look up to you, who feel inspired by you, hear you essentially minimize political violence, or even make excuses for it, or deflect by blaming Trump for everything, well, you're essentially indoctrinating people to support and normalize political violence. We can't be doing that. I don't care how people behave on the right. That's not going to have an impact on how I personally choose to behave. I want to be better than that. I want to preach dialogue, okay? Debate, have these conversations. Kirk, the last debate he and I had, Destiny would like you to believe that I agree with the right on everything. I don't agree with the right on everything. We debated about whether or not you have to have children in order to care about the future of this country. So we have a debate, and it's fine. He has a right to his opinions. I have the right to mine. If you care about democracy, the democratic process is reliant on having these types of conversations and reliant on not resorting to violence because you're unable to articulate your arguments effectively against the other side. That's what I see this assassination as. Again, it was cowardice. It was disgusting. It was cold-blooded murder, and no one should be celebrating it, and no one should be mocking the family members of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, very well said. I just want to thank all the panel for joining me. Jack, I want to say to you, I can tell by your demeanour today how profoundly impacted you've been by your friend's murder. God. And I'm just very sorry to you as his friend.
Shut up, gooner.
you've had to endure what must have been a hellish week. And
actual ghouls.
I'd like to send my very best to the family who I know you talked to. And I'm sorry for some of the things you've had to hear from Destiny in this debate. But thank you for coming on despite what you've been going through. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Piers. I'll convey that to them.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the panel. Thank you. Piers Morgan Uncensored is proudly independent. The only boss around here is me. If you enjoy our show, we ask for only one simple thing. Hit subscribe on YouTube and follow Piers Morgan Uncensored on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And in return...
Why couldn't Destiny just shut the That's all he do. Yeah. Ultimately, yeah, like I say, the Rose stuff, the lawsuit stuff, it's only going to go so far. It's going to it's only going to have so much of an effect on the trajectory of his career. Realistically, it's going to be stuff like this that is going to last. Yeah. This is probably going to be a moment, a conversation, a debate that people are going to bring up again and again and again, probably for the rest of Destiny's career. Arguably, controversially, ironically, probably the same way that John Tron had during his debate with Destiny. The Grinch got her, dude! The Grinch got her!